Send us everything you got.
First at 5 tonight, chaos erupting in a Harrisburg neighborhood. Neighbors hunkering down as deputies get into a shootout with a man. Authorities say they watched that same man shoot and kill a woman in the driveway before he started shooting at deputies.
This is Love Hurts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for future content. 43-year-old Chartara Verda Courtney, affectionately known as Verda to family, was one of the sweetest, most pleasant people you would ever meet. Her energy was almost contagious. When she walked in the room, you would just immediately smile because that's the type of presence that she had. Verda was an ambitious, driven, and hard-working woman. She spent over 20 years of her life working in the restaurant industry, eventually working her way up from server to division manager for the Waffle House. As a division manager, she spent a lot of time at work, yet and still she managed to always make time for her 4 children. She was determined to be there for them no matter what, especially for the important things in their life. Even if she couldn't make every single event, when it came to the important stuff, she always showed up and showed out for her children. Verda had the most positive attitude. She was the type of person that saw the good in everyone, even those who didn't deserve it. She always wanted to try to make a not-so-good situation better, and that may be why she stayed in an unhealthy, abusive relationship with 47-year-old Willie Wimbley. Little is known about how the two met or how long they had been together, but it was your typical good girl meets bad boy story. Willie was the worst kind of man Verda could have ever gotten involved with. He was straight trash, the type of man that leeched on to strong, hard-working women and used them for everything he could suck out of them. All he did was take, but he never gave. He had a criminal history, and he had served time in prison after being caught in a federal drug bust operation case. I'm almost positive when he met Verda, his plan was to take advantage of her kindness. She was just such a generous, giving person. She provided him with a stable home, a family life, extra money whenever he needed it, and he never appreciated any of it. All he ever wanted to do was control her money, control her mind, control where she went and what she did. And he had no problem using physical intimidation as a means to do so. In 2022, Verda accepted a job offer, moving her from Georgia to North Carolina. And family says almost immediately after moving, she realized the huge mistake she had made in bringing him with her. The arguments were almost constant, and they continued to escalate and escalate. Eventually, Verda had enough, and she broke things off with Willie once and for all. She even took him to small claims court and sued him for $10,000 to cover the money she had borrowed him while they were together, and she won. Sources say that's when things really took a turn for the worse, eventually reaching a boiling point on January 13th of 2025. Just after 5 p.m., Cabarrus County 911 received a call from Verda stating that she and her boyfriend had been in an argument. During the call, Verda tried to play down the incident, eventually telling the 911 operator not to send anyone, that her and her boyfriend would just talk things out. Based on police protocol, though, of course they had to respond to the call to make sure that things were okay. And when they arrived, that's when all hell broke loose. Police say they witnessed a man shoot and kill a woman in the driveway of the home. Deputies say the man then fired multiple rounds at them. Police, of course, returned fire, and the man eventually turned his own weapon on himself and fired. The two individuals were later identified as Verda Courtney and Willie Wimbley, and they were both pronounced dead at the scene.
I'm Erica Bryant. We first brought you live pictures from this massive scene last night here at 6 o'clock. The shooting happened outside of a home along Hammer Mill Drive near Roberta Road. Today, Channel 9's Hannah Getz talked with neighbors who say they saw deputies with long guns right outside of their front door.
This is the security video Nicholas Crawford watched from his phone as he and his wife hid in fear inside their Harrisburg home Monday evening.
Then we started hearing gunfire. And once we heard gunfire, we actually got to our knees and crawled to our closet.
Around 5 p.m., police say Chartara Courtney called 911. On the call, you can hear her talking to someone else saying, "Don't do that," then saying, "We can work it out." Then she told dispatchers not to send anyone before hanging up the phone. Per protocol, the Cabarrus County Sheriff's Office immediately checked on the house. When deputies arrived, they say Willie Wimbley shot and killed Courtney in the driveway.
Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. He's still not complying.
Wimbley then shot at deputies, bullets flying into the once quiet family neighborhood, and deputies shot back.
Shots fired, Cabarrus, shots fired, shots fired. Send us everything you got.
This prompted a massive police response in the Providence Manor neighborhood.
Cabarrus, shots are still being fired.
In the home next door, Yakita Benson was making dinner for her 7 kids while her husband was on his way home from work.
I'm cooking and I hear the gunshot, so it was just like, what is going on?
As an Air Force veteran, she says her instincts kicked in.
Like, okay, everybody get upstairs. We hid in the bathroom. There was police here in the middle of the street, and then they're like guns drawn across the street, guns drawn.
Today, while holding their 8-week-old baby Yasmin, they say they feel lucky the only damage is a bullet hole in their minivan.
It felt like a movie. It felt like a war zone.
Yeah, it was like a war zone.
The Cabarrus County Sheriff's Office says the initial investigation again shows Wimbley died by suicide. The SBI is investigating, and the Sheriff's Office also says the two were believed to be in a relationship. Neighbors tell us they think that they were moving into the home you see behind me this week. They saw moving trucks coming in and out.
Verda's family was absolutely devastated, and they spoke with reporters openly about Verda and the domestic violence relationship that she was in.
Tonight, the brother of Chartara Courtney, the woman who was shot and killed in a Harrisburg neighborhood last night, is speaking exclusively to Channel 9 about her inspiring story that led her to move to the Charlotte area and the message he now has to others in abusive relationships.
First thing that comes to mind was a hard worker.
He says the mother of 4 worked her way up from manager of a Georgia Waffle House to a regional manager position she took about a year ago.
And that afforded her to go to Charlotte, North Carolina.
But Darius told me as Chartara thrived in her professional life, she was also the victim of domestic violence at home.
I believe she knew on the inside she needed to get away because that's what she was doing. And I believe that's what brought the murder of my sister. This was a guy that set me down after the first incident to tell me how much he loved my sister because he knew I wasn't going for it.
But Darius says Wimbley only got worse over the years.
I'm angry and I'm sad.
Her brother believes Chartara was trying to get out of the relationship.
This incident happened at the house that she was going to move into. So ain't no telling how he got there, if she invited him or he followed her. She was trying to get away from this man, and he, being the coward that he is, couldn't help it. He couldn't take that.
As loved ones try to process this tragedy, Darius says it isn't enough to just be a listening ear for domestic violence victims.
Try to figure out a way to be more proactive, to be more involved, to be more present, so things won't escalate like they have with my sister.
My heart truly goes out to Verda's family, friends, and loved ones, especially her 4 children. She did not deserve to die this way. If you are in a domestic abuse relationship, create an out plan and get out now. Once you are out, do not turn back. Turning back can cost you your life. As always, loves, don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for future content.